called Big Cat.
Deion.
Hey, Deion.
You ready for football?
I am.
It's another season, baby.
Pro Football Show.
All right, Deion. Showtime. Football is back.
Welcome back to the Pro Football Show presented by the Chevy Silverado, Chevy's most awarded brand for new vehicle quality. So it's no surprise the Chevy Silverado is back with an unstoppable new interior for tailgating this football season. Week 3 of the NFL is here. Deion, you had a big smile on your face as soon as you came on screen. How are you feeling?
Because I can't wait to see my guys. This is like the second highlight of the week. The first highlight is when we play, obviously, but these are my guys, man. I enjoyed this day.
That's good. Boys, do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I love Deion.
Yeah.
It's not the second highlight of my week, but I do enjoy my time with Deion.
Would it be top 5?
Yeah.
There you go.
Sure.
Deion,
I love talking football.
You guys both get top 5, Deion. So you guys last week, Dan, you won the week.
Yes.
9-7.
Starting to see some things.
How'd that happen?
Starting to look clear
Starting
to you?
to see some things, feel some things. Feels like I got a little bit more of a grasp of how things are going.
That's a good thing, because it's been a struggle a little bit for you bet-wise, but you're feeling better?
Yes, I am.
That's good. Okay, Deion and Dave both 8-8, but the bigger story is that Deion already won the Survivor pool. So, Deion, congratulations.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. I know acceptance speech or nothing. I just appreciate it.
Rough and rowdy in Mississippi.
I was about to say, is that going to happen?
Hey, it's going to be good.
Yeah,
It's
we'll
gonna
make
be
that
great,
happen.
too.
I forgot we bet that, but yes, we'll make it happen.
I still think that you should be able to call a play or two. You got to work that in.
It would be nice.
It just shows how hard these Survivor leagues are. I mean, you can pick anybody and I didn't win a game.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Did you go back and see the clip of you guys arguing about the Survivor pool when you said don't touch my phone? Everybody has different rules on this, so we just need to come up with.
That's what we're trying to tell you.
Yeah, we need to just come up with the Barstool rules.
Loses if they
Yeah, but the guy that lost cannot be allowed to
Don't touch my phone. Right here.
Don't touch his phone. Do not touch his phone.
Yeah, I did.
No, that was awesome.
It was
No,
so
that was
funny.
awesome.
There is an
so funny.
argument to be made that the Browns won. Because I can only handicap a game till the clock strikes, like you outplay a team. The facts are, if Chubb falls down, the game's over. It's done, and it's a blowout. And he scored, and the rest is history. The Jets of all team with a more remarkable comeback. But the game was over. By anybody who knows how to coach football, do football, you fall down, no timeouts, knee it, you win by 7, it's done. That's all I can do. That's all I can't. It's hard enough to pick winners. But when something like that happens, bonehead, just idiotic. And this isn't, this play, that play. No. Game's over. It's done. It's finished. It's in the books. And they screwed up. And they let them have a chance. The only way they could possibly come back was by Chubb scoring as opposed to falling down.
It is one of those things, in retrospect, you look back and you say it was dumb for him to do. But in the moment, Deion, right? I mean, he did what a lot of guys probably would do.
Yeah, but Dave is right on this one. You got to think football. That's why they give those.
He's been in that spot.
At the combine.
He's been in that spot, and he stepped out. He's done it correctly before. So I think it was more disrespectful to the Jets. Like, what are the Jets going to do? I'm going to get some more stats, pad numbers. But he's done the right thing before. The only thing I'll say about it, if you want to do anything, if I saw the play after I was flying, it was a short distance, right, between first down and goal line.
It was first and 10 from the 12.
Yeah, so if you're going full speed, he probably should have stepped out of bounds is what he should have done. It's hard to maybe fall down and get that right. He should have just stepped out of bounds. It is what it is.
So it's not your fault, is what you're saying.
I can only expect somebody to do the right football move.
Yeah.
It would be like, I don't know, being able to run out the clock and throwing. It just makes no sense why they did it.
Your pick was right. It was just he did the wrong thing.
Correct.
So,
That's a good way to look at it.
Okay. Let's get to the storyline games of the week presented by the Chevy Silverado. Commanding unstoppable, the Silverado is the ultimate tailgate flex this football season. Dave, we're going to start with you. A big game between the Ravens and the Patriots. I know, Deion, you're going to want to brag on what happened with Lamar, even though they lost that crazy game with the Dolphins. But Dave, I'll start with you. The Patriots get back. They beat the Steelers. Mac Jones had a decent day. How are you feeling?
Well, if Lamar Jackson thinks that he's going to do that footsie tootsie run around stuff against a Bill
You
Belichick
mean
defense.
what he does all the time?
Not
What he
versus
does
Bill
all the time?
Belichick defense, he ain't.
Okay.
So we're going to make him one-dimensional.
Okay.
And as I've said many times, I don't fear him throwing the football. Patriots going to win this game, and they're going to be 2-1, and it's a team you got to watch out for. And, you know, the Dolphins, we made Tua look horrific. Tua looked like some all-world play. Now, there is a school of thought that I could throw for 400 yards with the weapons that Tua has. Regardless, the Patriots' defense is the real deal. It's legit, and I expect them to win this game in another ugly kind of type of game. And for all the, you know, Lamar this, Lamar that, Harbaugh this, Harbaugh that, you blow, a 3-touchdown lead in the third quarter? That's just disgusting to me.
Deion,
What happened to Jimmy's Seafood on social media? I was trying to find him. I couldn't find him. I wanted
Did
to
they
throw a
block
dig.
you?
No, they wouldn't block me. But Jimmy's Seafood, maybe they deactivated after the collapse. They may have deactivated the social media after the collapse. I would if I was a Baltimore fan.
They just don't exist anymore?
I couldn't find it. I don't know what was going on.
Deion, obviously, you're going to want to brag on Lamar. He had
Yeah.
a very, very good day despite that loss.
Lamar had a very good day, but the team didn't show up at the end, so he's going to carry that burden because he is the quarterback. That secondary is hot garbage for the darn Ravens. I mean, hot, stinking, smoking garbage. And I can smell it right now. But the Patriots don't live and die by throwing the football. And what the Ravens just did, the collapse that they just had, I'm pretty sure they're sick in the stomach. And they're going to rebound. So I'm going to go with the upset this week, and I'm picking the Baltimore Ravens
Well, they're
and
favored.
Lamar Jackson. Well, I don't even look at lines. I don't know.
So
the
I'm
favorite.
just not. You're picking the favorite. I will say a little stat for you, Deion. Patriots 4-1 versus the Ravens since 2013.
Yeah, Brady was involved in that, but no, don't worry about that. Yeah.
Dan?
Lamar was great against the Dolphins, and I know that it was their defense that failed them, but Lamar also, like in the second half, great quarterbacks, they get first downs to ice games away. They punted a couple times, 3 and outs. Like, that still counts for me. You know what I mean? Like, Patrick Mahomes,
Right.
when he's got a lead, he gets the first down, he makes sure the ball doesn't go back to the other team, game over. So the other thing that I'm a little nervous about, I saw a report today that Lamar was wearing a sleeve on his arm, and he might have gotten his elbow banged up in the game against the Dolphins. So I'm going to take the Patriots. I don't know what's up with that injury. Something to monitor. I just saw the tweet before I walked in here. It might be completely nothing, but if Lamar's hampered in any way, you'd have to think, like, knowing that he has to pretty much be Superman for this team, it would be greatly in the Patriots' favor.
Yeah, because we're recording on Wednesday, obviously, if you continue to see that throughout the week, it can be.
Yeah, I mean, I
worse
literally
and
saw a
worse.
tweet like 5 minutes before I walked in. I was like, that's weird. So I'm going to take a risk that maybe he's banged up and you get a discount.
We're all forgetting the fundamental. Greatest coach of all time. He's not going to let a running quarterback like Lamar beat him with his legs. He's going to make him throw. The man can't throw. We'll win the game.
Oh, what about a former MVP? You think he'll let him?
God.
beat him?
I knew that was
Going
coming.
this. I mean, it's,
He is a former MVP. It's just been a
did he
few
win a
years.
playoff game that year?
He did not.
No. So
He did not.
Yeah, but he won an MVP trophy. That was too heavy.
Yeah, no,
for him to
right. But
play
if you suck it up in the
Couldn't care.
postseason,
Yeah, he couldn't carry the whole team to the playoffs. He was young.
No, he couldn't carry him through one game.
Yeah.
number 1 seed, I think.
Yeah,
This will-
they lost to the Titans. Yeah,
I feel like
two
the
touchdowns.
text message chain between the three of you will probably be out of control.
I'm pretty
during this
confident.
Why don't we talk
Oh,
about the
yeah.
2 best quarterbacks in the world? Because that's what
Yeah.
the next
yeah.
game is.
You're,
Yeah.
you're right.
All
You're
right, let's go to the Bills at the Dolphins. Now, Deion, you were very high on Tua last week. Obviously, Josh Allen has been a huge storyline on this show.
He still thinks Lamar Jackson is better than Josh Allen.
Do you
Josh
think that,
Allen was
Deion?
not good. Was Josh Allen good in the first game they played this season? Was he okay?
No,
was he good or was he
was,
okay?
He was pretty damn good. I think, he was pretty damn
They
good.
smoked
Won by
him.
like 20
Yeah.
against the
Yeah,
Super
but I
Bowl
mean, was
champs.
he good or was he?
Yeah,
okay?
no, he was pretty good. He was pretty good.
Okay.
31-7, wasn't it, or something?
Yeah.
It was a blowout. It was an absolute
Yeah,
blowout.
but I mean, what is he? Yeah, but he.
Yeah, no, he was very good.
What don't you like about him? What?
He's
no,
my
I
best
know,
friend.
I like him.
No, you
I
don't.
like him.
He is. He said I was his best
I
friend.
like him, but you talking about statistically, that's what we judge quarterbacks on, statistically and wins, and that's what we got to judge him on. You know what? I'm going with, just because you guys just made me mad, I'm going with the Dolphins.
Okay.
And Tua.
Were you not going
I'm
to
going with the
before?
Dolphins and Tua.
You weren't going to
I'm
go?
going with the, no.
I'm going to take the Bills. I think this is I know Dan doesn't do the gambling lines. To me, this is a shocking line almost. Bills minus 5.5. But they are a juggernaut. They are the clear Super Bowl favorites right now. They're playing great. Their defense still does worry me a little bit. I thought Tennessee was going to keep that game close for a while.
Tennessee is horrible.
What?
Tennessee is horrible.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I'm taking the
they're
Bills.
horrible.
I'm taking the Bills too. The Bills are a juggernaut, and I'm a Tuanon guy. Yeah. I'm a Tuanon believer. Thanks for finally joining us, Deion. I've been there for a long time.
Oh yeah, that's the way to want to drive the bus.
Tua stinks. All right,
it's not.
Tua does not stink.
Oh my
so
God!
Did you just look at the game last week and you don't?
Well, did you see? All right. Yeah, great. David Klingler put up some big numbers at Houston. Then when he played the University of Miami, he was nowhere to be found.
That's why I love that. See, you guys just think David just sit talking here. The guy knows his darn football. When you can pull out a David Klinger, you can pull out a David Klinger.
That guy put up monster numbers, and they go play Miami, and they get shut out. The two touchdowns to Tyreek Hill, he didn't have anybody within 30 yards of him. If you're an NFL quarterback and you can't
one of them was
that.
a blown coverage. The other one, he just ran straight by.
But is that Tua been great? If you're an NFL quarterback and you can't hit him on those plays, well, then you shouldn't be in the league. So, I mean,
true.
I'm not. Those aren't throws. I'm like,
what about the other 400 yards? What about the other? Okay,
listen, it was almost reverse Lamar. You get in a blowout and you start playing a little prevent, things soften up, and you're able to put up yards. Well, he didn't do that against the Patriots. He didn't look good against the Patriots. I am not sold on Tua. I studied this guy. I am not sold on Tua.
I disavow anything Dave says bad about Tua. I just want that on the record. 2-0.
Thank you.
And Josh Allen is now your best friend.
Oh, well, he already was, but he just reconfirmed it when we had him on PMT today, and he was like, always good to talk to my best friends.
That's huge.
Oh, that's good.
And I was saying to Dan what I think we all like about Josh Allen.
This has nothing to do with it.
If you saw before Monday night and they were talking, and in Buffalo, there's something special about it. Marv Levy doing the right here, right now, Jim Kelly behind it. And they said Josh Allen doesn't even want to win for himself. He wants to win for the fans. If they don't have a Super Bowl, it means more to the fans than it does to the players in the locker room. He realizes this city lives and dies. It's quite the opposite of another quarterback of a team who said the fans don't matter, essentially, and they can't say boo because the players want it more. I'm not going to say what quarterback that was, but some are giving him a pass because he went to Ohio State, so he's stupid.
No, that's not what he said.
What did he say?
He said he wants to win. It's his job. He wants to win.
Very bad quote. Don't mention that the fans don't care.
Quote.
Yeah, definitely cannot say that.
Fans want to win more than.
I agree. He shouldn't have said it out loud, but I want him to care as much as the fans, and he does.
And Josh Allen also does too.
Josh Allen's the best. There's nothing.
Well, Josh Allen said perfect.
Josh
he
Allen
did,
is
but
a good guy.
of course.
He's a good guy. He's good for football.
Yeah,
him in Buffalo, perfect match with a player in the city.
Okay, let's get to Sunday 4:25 game. The Packers at the Bucs. Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. Dan, obviously, you knew what you thought was going to happen last Sunday night against the Packers. As a Bears fan, now you look at what's going on with the Bucs, and obviously Tom Brady's getting pissed, throwing tablets on the sidelines. Mike Evans is suspended. What do you think about this matchup between two of the greatest?
I mean, it's interesting.
Well.
Let's not put them in the
Well, no, but I mean, there are people that think that.
They're idiots.
There are people that argue it.
Tom Brady is by far the best. Tom Brady's the best player to ever put on uniform.
I would agree with that. Yes.
Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. I'm not sold on them. I mean, they beat the Bears obviously because they always beat the Bears. It wasn't
Bears are horrible.
It wasn't that embarrassing. I think Justin Fields actually got in on that touchdown. They would have covered the spread. That's neither here nor there. The Bucs are a defense-first team now. Mm-hmm. Tom Brady, the offense hasn't looked good, but I think that's also because they're missing guys. Chris Godwin out after, a quarter. Julio Jones didn't play the second game. Mike Evans is now going to be out in week 3.
What's wrong with Julio?
He's old.
Yeah, what's wrong with Julio?
He's old, like I said.
I knew he didn't play, but I didn't see him get hurt.
He's old.
He's just old?
He used
all his gas in that one first game?
He's an old guy. So I'm not. I think like the Brady's that offense is going to look better as the season goes along and they get guys back and they figure out life without Gronk. I think the Bucs are going to play great defense in this game, and they're going to run the ball. The one thing about the Packers-Bears game, the Bears were able to run the ball. They ran the ball down the Packers' throat a little bit. I think the Bucs will do the same thing. Leonard Fournette's going to score. The Bucs are going to win, and I think that the conversation after this is going to be, why aren't we talking about the Bucs being the best defense in the NFL? Because they are right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely, they stepped up huge last week. And Dave, you've been saying, for the last couple of weeks that you think that the off-the-field stuff may be still getting to Tom. Now Giselle is going back to modeling. She's reportedly not living with him.
Yeah. Now, again, Brady throughout his career isn't always the fastest starter. He tends to pick it up as games get more important. So I'm not surprised by their slow start. They're lucky to be 2-0. I don't want to say lucky. Their defense has been lights out. I am a little worried about some of the photos of Tom. He looks like he's wasting away to nothing, and that could be the stress of a personal life that's falling apart. That's not a knock on him. Anybody who's going through that type of thing, I do think it matters and takes a toll on you. I think the Packers win this game, but if the Bucs offense progresses, which I think everybody here expects them to do, they will be a very, very dangerous team because that defense, and let's not forget, the reason they won the Super Bowl was obviously need Brady, but their defense shut down Mahomes. Like, Mahomes hadn't been shut down basically in his career, and they just beat the shit out of him, really. So that defense, if I was Tampa, I'd be very happy. The offense will come, their defense looks great, but I don't think they're going to score. They have, Brady's still going through all this stuff. They have no weapons for this game. I like the Packers by sheer, very low scoring, but eventually Rodgers will get something done.
Deion?
I don't like the Packers. They got their butts kicked in week 1. Week 2, they beat the Bears. The Bears are pathetic, and we both know that. We all know that. Everybody here listening knows that. And I like the Bucs because they're not playing well, but yet and still they're 2-0. When I see Brady throwing tablets and getting frustrated, that means guys are not getting at the right depth of the routes. The offense is not flowing like it should. That's why he gets frustrated. I really like the Bucs because they're winning in spite of not playing their best football, and the Packers aren't near there yet. I'm going with the Bucs at the crib.
And Deion, we talked a little bit about Mike Evans being suspended, but I wanted to know from your standpoint when you were playing, and obviously this is a history with Lattimore as well, and then Mike Evans says after the game, he says, well, it's Tom Brady. What else do you expect me to do? Like, do you expect that to happen no matter what, even with these suspensions moving forward?
Let me tell you something, a quick story about a good friend of mine that I played for the Atlanta Falcons, and I had a big physical specimen as a dear friend on the team. I'm not going to disclose his name until I get to the end of the story. So they hit me out of bounds. I forgot the team, hit me, a whole skirmish break out, and everybody's throwing punches, and I'm back, and I see a big guy come through the crowd and just throw everyone out the way, and he comes to me to make sure I'm straight. And he got suspended. He got a fine for that. Goldberg. Oh, my guy. That was my buddy. We used to go out and party together. We used to kick it together. And Goldberg threw everybody out of there to my defense, man. And that was my guy. So I do understand Mike Evans 100%.
I think that had more to do with Mike Evans just getting a free shot in on
Lattimore.
I mean,
they fight every time.
You're right.
Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't that crazy what he just like Brady jaws with people.
Well,
that's what he does.
That clip of Bruce Arians basically using Mike Evans as an attack dog was so funny.
Yeah.
He was just like, go get him. They're going after Brady.
And Mike Evans has done that. I mean, he did that in college too.
Yeah.
But it is when he's standing up for Tom Brady, you can kind of be like, okay.
Brady's a big boy. Brady's a big boy. I mean, what they weren't like he wasn't swinging. They were walking the other way. They just jawed a little bit.
I liked it. I don't like that he's suspended, but I liked it.
Yeah, I don't like them to get suspended.
Yeah.
That's a game check.
We will get to more games in just a little bit, but let's go to the hashtag I Believe segment for this week. And Deion, we've already talked about it. I know you're going to want to brag a little bit more. Last week you said that if Tua wins again, he is an MVP front runner. So obviously we talked about his stats, almost 500 yards, 6 touchdowns against Baltimore. Where do we stand on Tua right now? Are you sticking with that?
Yeah, Tua is the guy. I mean, he's the guy. Tua is a winner. I keep trying to tell these wonderful friends of mine that Tua is a winner. You may not like him. You may not enjoy the way he gets to the equation, but Tua is a darn winner. The guy just wins. And I like him. I love the way he plays the game, love what he brings to the table, and he has 2 phenomenal receivers right now, and this is not going to stop. No one could guard those 2. You can't play those 2, man. It's no way possible. They just got to develop a really good running game so they can keep that pass going. I'm riding with 2. I'm sticking with it. But if I were to go somewhere else, this is a must-win situation for the darn Tennessee Titans. This is must-win. This week is must-win.
Yeah, and I think he's a good coach, variable, and I think that's a team that generally gets it going at the right time. So, but you're right, 0-3 is tough to start that way.
Gross. Dave, you said that you think the Cowboys are better off with Cooper Rush at quarterback, and they did beat the Bengals last week.
Yeah, that was a great call.
Good call.
Dak's one of those guys. Well, you always see it. He's cheering, but he can't be cheering that loudly. Like nobody wants to see the team be better with the backup. This I believe, and I don't know that anybody disputes it. Dan and I talked about it a little bit earlier. The San Francisco 49ers went from one of the worst teams in the NFC to a Super Bowl contender in a rare addition by subtraction. Garoppolo puts that team to compete for a Super Bowl. Trey Lance was not ready. That team was not, and I'm sure every player in the locker room is happy because who wants to be part of a process when you're building a new quarterback when you have a guy who was basically one throw away from winning the Super Bowl, that overthrow, and I think he's going to be very good, and it changes the NFC dramatically by Garoppolo now being the starter. Yeah,
you can't celebrate that he got carted off in an air cast, but in the back of your head, I think 49ers fans all would agree with you too.
If you're a player, why do you want to be part of a guinea pig process, essentially, when you have a guy you know you can win Super Bowls with?
Yeah, no, Jimmy Garoppolo was one throw away, and then remember last year in the NFC Championship game, if that D-back catches the easiest interception ever that Matthew Stafford threw, the Niners are in the Super Bowl again. So, I agree with you, Dave, on that.
And then, Dan, you said that Saquon is a dark horse to win the MVP. He had 72 yards in the win against Carolina.
Not the best game, but I still...
Not terrible.
I'll stick with that. But I believe this week, and we're going to get to all the picks, but the Cincinnati Bengals are going to win and kill the Jets. I really love this game. The Jets, last I checked, don't have Micah Parsons. They don't have TJ Watt. There's been a lot of talk about the Bengals' offensive line. It has been atrocious. I think Joe Burrow's been sacked 13 times.
Yeah.
But I think we need to do the flip side where they've played 2 defenses and 2 defensive players in those 2 guys that are complete game wreckers. The Jets don't have that. The Jets just won a game, miracle game. I think the Bengals get right. I think you see their best performance. They went to the Super Bowl last year. You can't start 0-3. I think the Bengals are going to kill the Jets.
Let's get to the Sunday conversation with Caleb Glenny Balls and the Liver King.
Do you mind if we do a new segment presented by Mamitas?
Sure.
This segment is called WWOAD. You ever heard the phrase WWJD, what would Jesus do? This is WWOAD, what would our ancestors do?
Okay.
I'll give you a situation, and you tell me what would our ancestors have done.
Sure.
Okay? Are you ready?
Yeah.
They're about to do a poop on the ground. There's no toilet paper. What would our ancestors do?
Well, I do this every day.
You poop on the ground?
Well, I do the equivalent of that. Sometimes it's on the ground. If I'm out here at Liver King Ranch, why would I waste my poop down a toilet?
When you can eat it.
When you don't waste all this bullshit fiber in your diet, when you don't consume all that worthless fiber, your poops come out perfect, crispy, hard. You don't have to waste time wiping it, so you're good to go.
So you don't wipe?
No need to. What's next?
You don't wipe your butt after you poop?
Every once in a while, just for assurance, I'll take a look. But how many times do you need to check?
How do you look if you don't wipe? How do you look?
How do I look? What are you talking about?
Do you put your head between your legs?
You know that you're good to go.
So you don't wipe?
Most of the time I don't wipe. I don't need to wipe.
All right, thanks, guys. Dan, you've had the Liver King on Pardon My Take, right?
I have. He smells terrible, but he's a nice guy. I like him. I went in skeptic to the interview, and I came out and I was like, I don't believe everything he says, but I kind of liked it.
Does he just not wear deodorant or something? Is that why he smells?
He doesn't use soap. He doesn't use shampoo. He doesn't use deodorant. Yeah.
And he just knows he smells.
Oh, I mean, It
Yeah.
was pungent in the studio.
Oof, that's disgusting.
Yes, and he eats liver all day. So yeah, do the math. Doesn't smell great.
Let's get to the Game Time Game of the Week with Jersey Jerry. Jerry, you can come out of the shadows and come on out here. Score last-minute tickets to this week's Game Time Game of the Week or any sport, concert, or show with the Game Time app. Download the app, create an account, and redeem code football for $20 off your first order. Terms and conditions do apply. So, Deion, I'm going to turn you around so that you can see Jerry as well.
Jerry, how you feeling? Like,
Jerry.
are we gonna get up for Thursday Night Football? What's up?
Yeah, I'm gonna get up.
You look kind of sad today.
This is one of those years where it could possibly be a plus 25-pound change for me. I can gain 25 pounds this season. Already gained 10 in 2 weeks, so it's going to be tough to settle down.
Well, at
Steelers
that
stress
rate,
me out.
that's a lot more than 25 pounds.
Say it again?
At that rate, it's a lot more than 25 pounds.
Oh,
if
yeah.
It's 10 in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's tough.
You're down bad. So this week
Yeah.
you have the Raiders and the Titans for your game. Time
Yes,
game
I
of the
do.
week.
Listen, I think the Raiders are a lot better than 0-2. I really do. I believe in Derek Carr. I believe in Devontae Adams. I can't see this team with this much talent around them starting out 0-2. The Titans are a mess. They're in shambles. They're considering starting their new quarterback. I don't know. Tannehill's definitely not the guy. But yeah, I'm going with the Raiders -2 this week. I think it's going to be one of those games where you see how good this Raiders offense could be. I could see them putting up 35 this week. I backed them last week. They banged me. I'm going to back them again. If they bang me, they're dead to me.
Okay.
End of story. And I will say this regarding the Mitch and Kenny situation. Dan said something like, "I'm done with Mitch." Listen, I'm not done with Mitch. He's losing me for sure, but I'm not done with him.
How close to being done are you?
I'm 1 game away.
Okay.
I'm 1 game away from being
That's
done.
interesting.
So this week could be it.
Yeah, so I went online yesterday and I bought some tickets.
Yep.
And I'm going to be attending the Jets game. I just have a feeling something different might be then.
Yeah.
You know?
Game Time helped you out with that, right?
Yeah, it was game time.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
it was game time.
It was
wasn't
game time.
It was, yeah.
It's got your clipboard,
Yeah.
Game Time
Wow.
Game of the Week.
Yeah, duh.
Yeah, no, he is. Jerry is done with Mitch. He's said that he's
I'm not
done with
done.
Mitch. The exact text was, "I talked myself into believing in Mitch. He's not it. Never was. Never
Now we're
will
reading
be."
receipts. Now.
Damn.
Now we're
Wow.
And then he said
wow.
Kenny will
Now you know
start
if you
game.
text it, they gonna
He
say it.
said Kenny will
That's
start
nice,
week
Dan.
4
All
against
right,
the
we're reading
Jets.
text. That's nice.
You know that you can't have receipts with these
You
guys and
can't
they've
do
not
it.
come to
You
light.
know you can't do that.
I got a lot of receipts too.
Oh,
I'm
on
just
Dan?
not going to do them publicly.
Oh,
You know?
that's
That's the game time game of the week. I'm going to back the Raiders again. We'll see what happens.
Jerry, how was the birthday?
I was going to ask
Oh,
you.
yeah. Birthday was great.
How was the soft play? I mean, I paid for the soft play.
Dan did. I appreciate that. Dan did pay for the soft play.
I
which is-
don't even know what that is.
Yeah, what is that?
So it's like a ball pit, and it's like they got these balls in there, and like the kids can jump in. There's blocks for them to climb on for the kids. that
Oh,
are
so like a bounce house.
Yeah, so I couldn't go with the bounce house because the venue said it wasn't allowed, so that's why I got the soft play.
And Dan paid for that part.
Dan did. Dan
Oh,
did. It
that
was
was very
sponsored
nice.
by.
Dan's a good man.
Yeah, he's a
Uncle
great
Dan.
man.
Have you ever seen like those cartoons and it's like Donald Duck or maybe it's Scrooge McDuck and they're just licking their lips, counting their money, like walking? I feel like that's every vendor that did business at the Jerry 1-year-old birthday extravaganza. Just in a marching line, just hitting the cash.
He's just
walking out.
handing it over and over.
Yeah.
I told
It's
Jerry
okay.
to pay for the
Yeah.
whole thing if I had a winning week. I did not.
Yes,
Oh,
that's true.
well.
Dave said he would pay for it if he had a winning week. He did not, and that's okay. you
Maybe
know.
for the second birthday.
Maybe.
We'll keep
At
track
any
of
time,
that.
if I can put together a big week, I'm happy to do it.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Dan.
Jerry.
Good job, Jerry.
Good job,
Yeah.
Jerry. I
Great
hope you feel
job,
better.
Jerry.
So,
Thanks,
Raiders, Titans, guys, what are you thinking?
Must win for one of these teams. Two teams I think a lot of people had penciled for the playoffs. This panel has been very down on the Titans. I get it, but I'm not giving up on them. They still have a monster running back. I still like Vrabel. I think they show up. I think they win this game.
Dan?
I'm going to ride with Jerry. So I too think the Raiders aren't as bad as we've seen. They are my pinky team, so I will cut off the tip of my pinky if they win the Super Bowl, so I don't want them to get too good. But both teams, terrible start. Raiders feel like they have more offensive weapons. I'll go with the Raiders.
And Deion?
I feel as though the Raiders, you correct me if I'm wrong, both games were close, within a touchdown away from them winning and them losing. I like what they have. They just had to put it together, and they must put it together. The Tennessee Titans are a long way away from being who they want to be. Derrick Henry's getting hit in the backfield before he even gets the darn ball. I mean, I love Vrabel as a coach, but I don't like this team this season. I'm going with the Raiders.
All right, let's get to the rapid fire games of the week. The full week 3 slate is presented by Cross Country Mortgage. Players watch game film to prepare. Finding your dream home is no different, and Cross Country Mortgage is the partner that's prepped to put you in position to win. Reach out to us today at ccm.com/Barstool. That's ccm.com/Barstool, ccm.com/Barstool. Equal housing opportunity in MLS 3029. All loans subject to underwriting approval. NMLSconsumeraccess.org. Deion, I'm going to start with you. The Bengals at the Jets. Dan talked about it earlier, the way he feels about this. Joe Flacco did get a win. The Bengals 0-2.
Yep, he did.
What are you thinking?
The Jets are one of those teams in the NFL that I refuse to pick. I don't care who they're playing. I'm going with the Bengals.
Dave?
Dan brought this up. This is a make-or-break game for the Bengals. Everyone loves Joe Burrow, the wide receivers, the offense, everything. They're 0-2, and they kind of been shellacked. So they got to win this game. I agree with Dan. But if they don't win this game impressively, major red flag here to the Bengals. But I will take the Bengals.
And Dan, you mentioned it. I mean, Joe Burrow has no protection at all right now. That's huge.
And it's bad, and it's looked bad. But again, they played against 2 defenses that I think at the end of the year you're going to say. I mean, obviously the Steelers don't have T.J. Watt right now, but at the end of the year you're going to say, a Steelers defense with T.J. Watt and Micah Parsons on the Cowboys. Those are 2 of the top 5 defenses in the league.
Right.
So I'm not saying their problems are solved. I'm just saying their problems are going to be solved on Sunday against the Jets.
Okay, Dave, we'll go to Lions at Vikings. Michigan man Aiden Hutchinson playing really well for Detroit right now.
I'm going to take the Vikings bouncing back. Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Oof, that was woof.
Gross.
That was
Very,
pretty
very
bad.
gross.
Lions get a win. Lions look good. They're scoring a lot of points. But I'm going to take the Vikings here at home.
Dan?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Vikings. I'm going to use my time to continue a conversation I started on PMT on Wednesday. It is an absolute travesty that the Vikings don't have Randy Moss's number retired. Irv Smith dropping that touchdown on Monday Night Football with number 84 on the Vikings. I was like, what the hell was that? Crazy. He is one of the best Vikings of all time. He is probably, if you polled Minnesota fans, he's probably the favorite Viking, fan favorite Viking of all time. How is his number not retired? Makes no sense.
Deion,
no sense.
you agree with that?
All right, I agree. I saw that as well. When I saw that 84, you just reflect back and you say, dang.
Right.
Like, what was that? That's the trip. I'm going with the Vikings as well.
Okay, Dan, the Texans at your Bears.
This is a game that
this is horrible.
It's basically the Bears are either going to be frisky if they win, or they are going to be one of the worst teams in the league if they lose. I will obviously take the Bears, but I'm very nervous for this game because they might just be really, really bad.
And Dave, the Texans are pretty bad too, though.
Yeah, but Lovie Smith coming back to Chicago.
Yep.
But the Texans have actually looked decent. They tied versus the Colts, and then they played the Broncos fairly tough. I do think the Bears suck, so I'm going to take the Texans.
Just to put it simply.
I can't say
Everything Dave just said. I love everything Dave just said. I agree with him wholeheartedly about the Bears, but the Texans, we thought it was great that they tied, who's that?
Colts.
The Colts.
The first game, the Colts. But we found out that the Colts are garbage.
Terrible.
So that wasn't a big deal. Only because the Bears are at home, and I'm scared to life of making this pick, but I'm going to go with the Bears only because they're at home.
Okay, we'll come right back to you, Deion. The Chiefs at the Colts. The Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes.
Kansas City. I'm not picking the Colts to save my life.
Dave.
I'm not ready to write off the Colts so fast. Michael Pittman Jr. didn't play in that last game. He's their best receiver. Do we know his status?
I'm not sure.
Don't do it. Dave, don't do it.
Oh, boy.
Not do it.
Dave, don't do it.
I'm going to take the Colts here.
Okay.
I think the
Straight
Colts
up.
are going to ram the ball down their throat with that running back they got. Hopefully Pittman's back. I think that was the early NFL season. Hungry Dogs are faster one week, the next week. I'm not sold on the Chiefs. Nope, not sold on the Chiefs. So it's an upset pick. I'm taking the Colts.
Your shoes started lighting up.
I like that.
It's like, what's going on?
I was curious what was going on.
The shoes are lighting up. They're cool shoes.
Yeah, I have light up shoes.
The Colts, I'm pretty sure, I got to check Gus Bradley, their defensive coordinator. He was the defensive coordinator, I think, for the Raiders last year. Mahomes will just rip them apart. Chiefs easy.
Yep.
Okay, Dave, the Saints at the Panthers. Baker not living up to their standards right now in Carolina.
You don't say.
Damn. The Saints didn't look. I'll go with the Saints.
Dan?
I am going to, let me make sure. Yes, he is the defensive coordinator of the Colts. I was right about Gus Bradley.
I'd love for him to be wearing the road whites.
The Stormtroopers. I'll take the Panthers. I think the Panthers are absolute garbage. But
Yes.
Jameis Winston has a broken back. His back is broken. I don't know what, like, his back is broken. So that
How do you
can't
have
be
a broken
good.
back?
What?
How's your back broken?
He's got
How do you have?
he's got a broken back. What do you mean?
Well, long as
Why
they
is
get
he playing with a
injected,
broken back?
I don't know.
yeah, long as they
When
get
did he break
injected,
it?
I'm going with the Saints.
Week 1, let's see, back. I think he has vertebrae that are.
And you can just inject that and keep playing?
Well,
Oh,
he
you
did
can just
say,
anything
the
and
quote
keep
was, when asked about it, he
great.
said, my back feels like my back. I have to execute better. So,
Broken back
You
playing
can
football.
inject anything except for a knee.
four fractures in his back.
Jesus.
That feels like it's significant. Maybe I'm just being a wimp, but yeah, if I had a
But
broken back.
he's definitely playing.
Yeah, he played with the broken back on Sunday.
That is crazy. Dion?
I'm going with the Saints and a broken back. I refuse to pick Baker Mayfield. Refuse to.
Dan, the Eagles at the Commanders. This is the Carson Wentz game, and you are high on the Eagles.
They're my
Now
Super
they're
Bowl
2-0.
pick. Yeah, they're my Super Bowl pick. I'm upset that Dave pointed out it is a little deja vu because I'm walking around talking about my Eagles pick, similar to how he was doing with the Cardinals last year. But I am Philly Dan this year. I ride with the Eagles. I got them for a significant amount of money at 22-1. They're just better than the Commanders, and I cannot like Carson Wentz. That guy, he just sucks. He sucks. He'll throw a couple good touchdown passes, but he sucks.
You know every single game he's going to make some decision. You're like, well, it's still Carson Wentz.
It's brutal watching him.
Dion?
You know what? Dan is rubbing off on me with these Eagles, man.
They're good.
They looked really good the other night. Long as they don't turn the football over, this team is going to be hard to beat down the stretch. I do like the Eagles. I don't even know 3 people that plays for Washington.
Washington has very good receivers.
Yeah, the wide receivers.
Yeah.
Dave?
Curtis Samuel, Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson.
Yeah, they can't throw to themselves.
Trap game. Commanders.
Okay.
Everyone's sucking the Eagles' dicks. They're coming off Monday Night Football. Washington's coming off a loss. Sleepy, tune in, NFC East. I like Washington.
All right. Dion, the Jags at the Chargers, and right now when we're recording this, Justin Herbert's status is unknown for this game.
Well, I don't care. East Coast going to West Coast. I'm going with West Coast because they're at home. I'm going with the Chargers.
Dave?
I also will go Chargers. I think this game could be closer. I'm still not sold on Herbert. I think we saw the entire Herbert show, a couple throws, like holy shit, including the one that got us the cover. How did he make that? Then we also saw him quit on a first down when his back hurt, just all over the map. But I will take the Chargers here, but close.
Dan?
Yeah, I'll take the Chargers as well.
Let's not forget the Jags, that coaching. I mean, they got Peterson. They're at least a real team now.
Oh, yeah.
Urban
Yes.
Meyer.
Oh, big time. Big
Trevor
time.
They put up
Lawrence,
a
too.
fight.
Yeah.
They put up a fight.
Yeah, I'll take the Chargers.
Okay.
I do like the Jags in this game against the spread. I do think that they'll keep this close.
Let's go to the Falcons at the Seahawks. Dave and Pete Carroll this week saying that he needs to stop holding Geno Smith back. He needs to let him throw more.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
It's not.
Do you really want that?
Yeah, that's
It's-
good.
Yeah.
Listen,
You want that.
I think the Seahawks beat the Broncos, who are playing like absolute garbage so far. The start, I don't think many people saw this start coming from Russell Wilson. So people like Seahawks they got absolutely fucking throttled last week. I think Seattle is going to be a 3-win team, maybe 4 if they're lucky. I'll take the Falcons here.
Dan?
Yeah, I'll take the Falcons as well. They stayed out on the West Coast, so you don't have to worry about the travel. Maybe some like team camaraderie, being together all week. The Falcons are a spunky team. They're a frisky team. They're 0-2, but they've covered both spreads. And I think Marcus Mariota's he's not that bad.
No, he isn't.
Dion?
Yeah, the only reason they like it because they covered the spread, whatever that means.
That's true.
Well, yeah.
I'm going with the Seahawks. That's the only reason you like it. I refuse
That's
to
why I
pick the
said
Falcons.
it. Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
one of the teams that I refuse to pick. I'm going with the Seahawks.
Get Kyle Pitts the ball more, please. That's all I ask.
That'd be kind.
I think he has 7 targets in the last 2 games. You drafted him, what, 5th overall? Get him the ball. Find a way to get him the ball.
Dan, Rams at Cardinals. That game with the Cardinals was just absolutely insane.
Insane.
Kyler Murray having the 2-point conversion that lasted like 21 seconds. Just everything that they did down the stretch. However, they have looked bad up until that point. So what do you think?
I mean, that first half, they looked like the worst team in the NFL. And I think the Rams are a better team. Tommy gave us a stat earlier today. Sean McVay owns Cliff Kingsbury. Tommy, help Dave out.
Sean McVay owns the Cardinals, 8-1-1 against the spread against them in his career. Also, the Cardinals have not covered a home game since last October. David.
Well, I was going to take the home dog.
No, it is still a home dog.
I know, but then he gave stats that went very much against it.
I'm taking the Rams. I think the Cardinals, like what they did in that second half against the Raiders is not sustainable. You basically needed Kyler Murray to be superhuman for an extended period of time. You can't do that for 4 quarters against a defense like the Rams.
Deion, we talked about like the video game thing with Kyler Murray, and then when he plays like that, it's like that backyard football video game play himself. But do you agree with Dan that can't be sustainable for 4 quarters?
It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. And those Cardinals are an average football team. I tell you guys this every year. They're an average football team. And I'm telling you, I just can't get over when someone tries to put a clause in your contract to say you got to study.
Yeah.
Can you sign
that right there? That right there did it for me. That upset me. And you're not going to run around like that with against Aaron Donald. So I'm going with the Rams.
Dave?
Arizona traditionally plays better in the beginning of the season. Obviously, they didn't start the first game and a half that way, but I think they're going to ride the momentum. I don't think the Rams, Super Bowl, kind of, you maybe start a little bit slow, a little hangover. These games don't matter that much early. Obviously, they matter, but I'm going to take the Cardinals here for an early season win.
Let's go to Sunday Night Football. Deion, the 49ers at the Broncos. Dave and Dan already talked about the way they feel about the 49ers with Jimmy Garoppolo. Now that Trey Lance is out for the season. How are you feeling about this matchup?
I feel the same way. These guys are accurate. I hate to see Trey Lance go down, but honestly, they gave him the job. I'm not going to say he took the job from Garoppolo. They gave him the job, and I think he's going to be a great pro once he gets healthy. But I'm going with the 49ers. They could be better. I feel like they could be better with Garoppolo.
Dave?
I'm very surprised with how bad the Broncos have looked. And Russell Wilson, who lives in his own little planet, seems to be just as happy if he's doing well or not doing well. He got his contract. But here's something that I do believe. It's tough to go into Denver at night and win. I feel like it's a very tough place to play. So I'm going to take the Broncos here in a night game at Mile High.
And Dan, we talked about him getting booed when he went back to Seattle. He also got booed a little bit in Denver last week, too.
He was getting booed a lot of it.
Yes,
Oh, my God. He got booed in Denver?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That hurt. Guys, let me tell you something. As an athlete, you can say it, you can downplay it all you want. That hurts.
That hurts.
Yeah.
When you get booed at home, imagine walking in your door.
Like they're saying, like,
and somebody's booing you. Imagine you walk in your door, Dan, and your kids are booing you.
Saying boo hurts.
He's saying he's somebody because he's getting booed. Yeah, that to me, I mean, 2 games in a row, especially
That
like
hurts.
2 games in
They've
Denver.
looked like trash.
They did.
Yeah.
And
That
Judy,
hurts,
I don't know if he's out.
Yeah, he got banged up. I'm taking the 49ers here. I think that I think Kittle might be back, and I just
That I feel like you could put on a repeat for the last 3 years. Kittle may be playing.
he might be playing.
Big question
But when
mark.
he plays, he's
Very good.
the
When's
best
the
tight
last
end in
time
the
he
league.
played?
Yeah.
Okay, let's finish off with Monday Night Football. Dave, I will start with you. The Cowboys with Cooper Rush, which you like a lot better than with Dak Prescott, playing the Giants, who are 2-0 for the first time since 2016. So a huge game for these 2 teams.
Yeah, interesting line to me. To me, it says bet. They want you to take the Giants at home. That Cowboys, man, that defense is ornery, and you got a superstar who basically changes everything, messes up seemingly every single play. He's unblockable. He can do everything. I think the Cowboys somehow figure out a way to do enough to get 2 wins with Cooper Rush. And a quarterback controversy starts slowly brewing in Dallas.
Okay, Dan?
And Dave, to give Dave credit, he said something very smart during Advisors. Are the Giants a 3-0 team? No. No, you just can't. Like you have to play that game right now. Like, are the Giants really 3-0? No. Both these teams are 2-1 after Monday night.
Deion?
I'm going to go. I can't pick the Giants, man. And Dan just said it wonderfully. Are they a 3-0 team? No.
Unless Dave said it. I was quoting Dave. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Dave said it wonderfully.
I'll take credit.
I can't do it. Although the Cowboys aren't great, but when you put a backup in, you focus more and you do the things that he can do. So the offense is more definitive. They're more direct. We got to get more from Zeke in the running game. I can't wait to see that battle. You know, the two running backs, the two big-time running backs. I can't wait to see that battle, but I'm going to go with the Cowboys on the road.
It'd be a great Monday Night Football game. Let's finish the show with the primetime pick of the week presented by the Chevy Silverado. We know that every team starts the season undefeated. For the first month, everyone has a shot, but one team has already won it all. That team is Chevy, and its star player is the Silverado. It's always truck season here at the Pro Football Show, and now it's also tailgate season. And what better way to roll up to a tailgate than in a Chevy Silverado boasting a larger, more functional bed than any other competitor? You and your Silverado will own tailgate season in style. Silverado is the ultimate tailgate flex. Head over to Chevy.com to learn more about the Silverado. So we talked about this off the top of the show. Even with all the controversy last week on the tie and if it was a win or a loss, it appears Deion, in going into week 3, has already won the primetime pick of the week. Last week he took the Rams, who did beat the Falcons. You guys both took the Browns, but Dave, you did say that it's technically not your fault.
Theoretically, you can only play to like the right 000, the rightful 000. And that to me means if my team has the ball, the other team has no timeouts, and you're ahead, the game should end. It did not end because Chubb was a bonehead and scored a touchdown and gave them the ball back. So you can look at it a lot of different ways. I choose to look at it as that's beyond my control.
It's not your fault.
Correct.
It's not your fault. Unfortunately for this, though, Deion did win, which means Rough and Rowdy is going to go to Mississippi at some point.
Correct.
So that's exciting. We will continue to pick these, though. So, Deion, I will start with you since you've won.
Thank you.
Who are you taking for week 3?
Man, I just had it. I'm going with the Chargers over Jacksonville.
Okay. Dave?
Probably going to be Dan's Bengals.
Yeah.
Bengals over the Jets.
Game
Keep
of the
going
month.
against the Jets. If the Jets want to beat me again, knock yourself out.
I will be very upset if the Jets cover this spread and win this game because it is a game of the month, and I'm going to put a lot of money on it.
Yeah, if the Jets beat the Bengals,
The Bengals are done.
yes. And by the way, they were as fired up for the season as Buffalo. But
Yeah.
like, they really thought after the season last year that they were now in the elite. To go start 0-3, it's tough.
And not, you obviously don't overlook anyone when you're 0-2, but a little extra, the Jets did beat the Bengals last year. So this is another thing where they can be like, hey,
I had the
look, we
Bengals.
walked in here and they beat us last year. You better not take them lightly.
Start whispering if Burrow takes a bunch of sacks. I mean, generally the thesis or the talk is how bad the offensive line is. So
Guys, some of that is on Burrow. Guys, let me tell you something.
Yeah, that's what
I'm
I was
gonna
going
tell
to
you
say.
something. Some of this, he holds the darn ball too long. That's all those sacks aren't on the offensive line. That's partially on him.
That's what I was.
It's no way the line they beefed up the line. They got him what he wanted. It's no way a quarterback has to help you with 13 sacks. It's almost impossible to give up that many darn sacks.
And like you mentioned,
that's bad.
Like you mentioned, Dan, throughout the show, I mean, this will be a game that really shows how bad or good that offensive line is in comparison to the last 2 games they played.
Yep, because it's put up or shut up time. You can't start 0-3 and expect to be a playoff team. It just doesn't. I mean, it doesn't happen very often. So they have to.
They
win
won't
this
make
game.
if they lose this game. They won't make the playoffs.
And that would be crazy after going to the Super Bowl last year. So, all right, that's week 3. Anything else, guys?
That's all we got.
Yeah, guys, you guys are in my head. Let me tell you why you're in my head. And I Dave, I fault you because you're the main nemesis. We're probably at the 35-yard line and we're going in, and we didn't get it on 3rd down, so I got to make a decision. And it's like a 1-touchdown game, and I'm thinking, I got to go for this. No, let me kick. Let me just go ahead and take the 3. We got a great field goal carrier. I said, no, I'm going for it. And I thought about you jokers during the darn game, and I should not be thinking about you guys during the darn football game.
Did you get it?
Yes, I got it.
Well, there you go. What was the situation?
It was like 4th and 4.
At the 35? So it's
like at the 35.
You don't have listen, you don't have a field goal kicker who is more than 25% from 50 yards plus.
No. Trust me.
It's going to pay off in the long run.
I called him C Senor. I called him C Senor. He can kick his
So you have an NFL kicker.
I got one close. I'm telling you.
It's also, listen, I'm happy you're starting to do the right thing, but
Yeah.
it's a slap in. You're basically saying to your son, I don't trust you to get a yard. That's your son.
No,
It was 4th and 4, but a 52-yard
No, it was a
field.
tight game. At that time, I think it was 1 touchdown game.
Okay.
But you got to.
So that could be a momentum changer.
College kickers are 25% max 50 plus.
No, this guy, he's not 50 plus. He, what has it been, 35, 40? He's probably been a 40,
What?
yeah, 47.
The ball you
50,
said was a 35.
47, 30, well, maybe 30, 32, something like that.
that would be a
It was in
48
his
yard.
range.
You wanted
Yeah,
to
it was
punt.
his range.
I could see Deion punting from
No, I wasn't gonna
25.
And then they just rocket it through the back of the end zone. You net 15 yards.
It is good to know that, like, instead of like the angel and the devil on your shoulders, that you have Dave and Dan.
Those
on
two
your shoulders.
guys.
I'm going to tell
My
you this.
guys.
And Deion's been blessed that he can get this information. But when you're watching a game from our seat, which is a gambler's seat, you know what you want the team to do, and you always know what the right decision is because they go against you, basically.
Right.
We know if that's there. I'm hoping Deion puts the field goal unit out there. If it's 4th and 4 at the 35, 34, 33, send that kid out there. Let him miss by a mile like a moron and give me the ball in good field position. The last thing you want
Right.
to do is see his son trotting out there because you're going to get the first down good 7. It's common sense.
Yeah, and we did.
Yeah, I'm sure.
All right. Well, we will be back next week. Everybody have a great weekend.
All right.
Amen.